Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight on this Wednesday morning. I'm Pam Cook with you, and of course, we are live on 1480 WHBC, but also on our Facebook page. So you can check us out there if you would like to do that. And, the cold weather, everything is putting us into the holiday spirit. It's December, of course. And so today we're going to talk about a beloved holiday tradition in our area, of course, for such a long time. Canton Ballet's The Nutcracker. And we've got several guests with us. We have Jennifer Catazero Hayward, who is the director of the Canton Ballet. Hi, Jennifer. Also,
Hello.
we have Rachel Hagemeyer, who is president and CEO of the Canton Symphony Orchestra. And we have Matthew Jenkins Yarashevitz, the music director of the Canton Symphony Orchestra, and Michael Barath, the resident character actor with Canton Ballet. How are you?
We're well, I think.
Everybody's in the spirit, right? We're all just raring to go. I can tell Matthew is. I can see it in his face. He's ready. He's definitely ready. So before we get into it's coming up next weekend, we'll say that much. But give us a little background on the Nutcracker and how it's become such a tradition here in our area.
Well, Canton Ballet is in its 59th season of dance, and we've been doing Nutcracker for most of those years. It has evolved and grown and expanded over the years, and I feel like it's with the Canton Symphony Orchestra involved now. It's getting pretty near the best we can do. It is a really good performance. It's magical. It has many students from our school, ages 5 and up. They're in it. We also have many alumni in it. They like to come back because it is so magical. We have so many people that are in it that have been in it for many years. Michael Barath is one example. He is in his 35th year of being in the Nutcracker with us. So he plays Drosselmeyer, and he's very magical. And so it's wonderful, and we're just really looking forward to it. As you mentioned, December 13, 14, and 15 at the Canton Palace Theater. And also being at the Palace is another part of the magic, of course.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about, as the children and the teens, and they go through the whole process and then they go off. Is it sad to lose some of them? But you're saying they come back, so then you probably don't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah, it's always sad to see someone go, but it's also feels good because many of them go off and dance professionally or teach, or they keep dance. We've created a love in them that they carry with them in whatever they do. And then we love to have our dancers that have gone off to become professional come back. We have quite a few, as I mentioned. We have Zachary Catazero, who has been our cavalier for quite a few years, but he actually retired from dance, but he did me a favor, and he's going to be the Snow King and the Arabian King, and so that's going to be extra special for the audience because he was, of course, a former principal dancer with New York City Ballet. And we have Bernie Richards, who is a character. He's an actor and singer, dancer, performer, and travels all over doing shows. So he's back doing many parts. And then we have some guest dancers from Cincinnati Ballet doing the roles of the Sugar Plum Cavalier and the Sugar Plum this year, Catherine Ochoa and Chandler Proctor. And so we're excited about that. They're stunning dancers. So, yes.
Wow. Just a lot to look out for. Maybe Matthew, maybe you can talk a little bit about how, the combination with the Canton Symphony Orchestra, because how many years has it been since you've joined forces?
So this is our second year of this collaboration. It had been done before, but not until we did it last year. It had been 25 years since we had done the collaboration. It was, for me, it was such a joy to get to do it because as a conductor, so many of us grow up when we're children and have no idea what we're going to do with our lives, grow up going to the Nutcracker to see it. And that was certainly my case. I grew up in Cincinnati, and I went to the Cincinnati Ballet's Nutcracker a couple times when I was a kid. So I've known this music for my whole life. And to get to conduct it, to get to be in the pit of a theater with an orchestra there and a full production of the ballet in which I get to conduct, it was such a magical experience last year. And I was so thrilled this year, not only to be able to do it again, but this year we're doing all 4 performances. Last year we only did the evenings, and this year we get to do all 4. So it's just such a joy to be a part of this collaboration.
Yeah, they'll be so thrilled about that for sure. So let's maybe mention right now how you get tickets. How does that all work?
So you want to be sure you want to go to cantonballet.com, and you can get tickets right on our website. You want to make sure that you do go to cantonballet.com, because there are people out there who like to buy up tickets and then sell them for a very large amount of money. And so that's not us. And so be sure you are going to cantonballet.com, and you can click on performances and then the Nutcracker, and you'll be able to get tickets.
And Rachel, maybe you can also tell us a little bit about your thoughts on, the collaboration and how that's been going and what the reaction has been to that.
Yeah, I mean, we did it last year. So 2 years ago, we had a conversation about the possibility of doing it. And, Matthew and I immediately were very interested. And, on our end, it really is, the musicians working hard to put this music together. And many of them have played it many, many times before. It is some of the most famous pieces in the Nutcracker. So it's musicians and Matthew coming together on our end, rehearsing, and then working with the dancers at the actual rehearsals, which is very fun to watch. I like being able to go. That's the perk of my job, is I get to go to rehearsal, which is so fun watching it all come together. It's just such a joy to be able to partner with the ballet and support it in this way, because something that Jennifer and I have talked about is when dance is supported by live music, it just adds some sort of energy that a recording, even if it's a great recording, just doesn't have that live aspect that we are able to provide. Is really, really exciting. And we're just so happy to be a part of it. I got my tickets, and I'm glad I got them already, because there's not too many. I was literally on the website looking right now just to see where things are at, and got to go way in the back a little bit now. So it's very exciting that we can do all 4 shows. I know that the musicians were really excited to be able to do the 2 shows, and hopefully this means that we'll bring even more people out to support the ballet and expose more of our community to not only the symphony, but ballet as an art form, because I think it's really important for us to, as a community, come together to support the arts in this way. So very excited that we get to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to witness, because if you saw the Nutcracker prior to the symphony joining, you loved it, but adding in the symphony just makes it all that more of a wonderful experience. And I don't want to leave Michael out, because you probably have one of the most fun jobs, I would imagine. You have to tell me a little bit about your part in all of this.
Well, Drosselmeyer is the magician. He's Clara's uncle, and he's the one that makes all the magic happen. And I get to wear this big, huge cape, which is really fun to flick around.
Well, give us a little bit about your background and how long you've been doing these. Well, she said 35 years. Is that
This will
right?
be my 35th year. And I started doing grandfather in the Nutcracker 35 years ago. And the reason I got involved is I was dating who turned out to be my wife, Debbie, at the time. And I was just trying to impress her. She asked me to do a part in Nutcracker, and I said yes. And then she hasn't let me quit since.
Yeah, the rest is history, as they say, right?
It is.
All right, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more. I want to hear about the planning and the rehearsals and everything that goes into it. Of course, it's a wonderful production, and as you heard Rachel say, tickets are going quickly. So if you would like to get yours, go to the website, go to cantonballet.com and pick up your tickets now, and we'll talk more about the Nutcracker coming up here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And I want to give a shout out to you also, because WHBC has always been supportive of the fire department. You guys helping us get messages out. We couldn't do it without you guys too. So I just want to say thank you.
1480 WHBC.
Canton Ballet's The Nutcracker returns to the Canton Palace Theater December 13th through the 15th, joined by the Canton Symphony Orchestra performing the iconic score live. A beloved holiday favorite for over 50 years, The Nutcracker is the perfect addition to your seasonal celebration. Whether it's your first time experiencing the magic or a cherished family tradition, this enchanting ballet is sure to captivate audiences of all ages. Get your tickets now at cantonballet.com.
JT again, and I want you to start saving big time with Save-A-Lot. Download the new Save-A-Lot app and start saving today. The Save-A-Lot app is free, and you can get it right now at savealot.com. When you download the Save-A-Lot app, it unlocks exclusive coupons, weekly ads, and even earn dot rewards with every purchase for more savings. Check it out and download it today and start saving. It's the Save-A-Lot app. It's free and waiting for you at savealot.com.
The saving continues during Andrews Furniture's Countdown to Christmas sale. Searching for a unique piece to complement your room? Enjoy an additional 10% off all Flex Steel handcrafted collections of fine upholstered furniture, leathers, and hardwoods. Flex Steel combines quality construction in a beautiful selection of over 1,000 fabrics and leathers. Choose from Andrews stock for immediate delivery or special order. Either way, you'll save an additional 10% through December 30th. If you're looking for the best selection of last-minute gifts, then you're looking in the best place. Enjoy 20% off all in-stock decorative accessories at Andrews, including framed art, lamps, and mirrors. Or stuff their stockings with an Andrews gift card, available in any denomination. Experience the magic of the holidays with a trip to Andrews Furniture in Sugar Creek, your home furnishings destination for over 75 years and 3 generations, where delivery is always free.
Hi, this is Jim Snyder of the Your Wealth, Your Retirement program, a financial education show for those seeking guidance. Are you retiring soon? Are you in the middle of changing jobs? Maybe you're just done with all of that risk in the 401k plan and you'd like to have a discussion about an early rollout. Maybe you're 70 and a half and you're in your income phase of your IRA. We can help you with all those. Give us a call at Senior Financial Group at 800-639-0824. That's 800-639-0824.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Not sorta smart, SARTA Smart. Did you know we have 32 fixed routes? Just think of all the places that'll take you. So many of your SARTA destinations to shop, eat, entertain, have fun, learn, and earn. Catch any of them at our 4 transit centers. You'll find them in Alliance, Belden Village, Canton, and Massillon. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, welcome back to Spotlight. And we are talking about the Canton Ballet, the Nutcracker, along with the Canton Symphony Orchestra. And we have with us today Jennifer Canizero Hayward, Rachel Hagemeyer, Matthew Jenkins Yarashevitz, and Michael Barrett. I am so excited to have you explain to people, maybe because I thought about this. Everybody has heard of the Nutcracker. There probably are some people out there who have never been. So, and whoever wants to take the question can, but talk a little bit about, for someone who's never been, kind of what they can expect, what the story is about.
Well, the story is about a little girl, Clara. Some people doing Nutcracker say Marie. We go with Clara, and she is her family's having a Christmas party. That's what opens the ballet. And so you're at this party. We call it the party scene, and that's where we're introduced to Drosselmeyer. And there's magical dolls that he brings out, that he brings to life, and they dance for the party. And he also, at this party, gives Clara a Nutcracker doll that is so sweet. And she, of course, loves the Nutcracker doll. All the children want it. And at the end of the party, her mom makes her put her Nutcracker doll under the tree and go to bed. And she's sad. Well, in the middle of the night, she sneaks down and gets her Nutcracker and falls asleep. And then she begins to dream. And in her dream, giant mice and soldiers come and have a battle, and the Nutcracker comes to life, and there's a big battle scene. And then, of course, the Nutcracker wins, and he turns into a handsome prince. And then they travel through the land of the snow to get to the land of the Sugar Plum Fairy. And so there's a snow scene with snowflakes and a king and a queen. And then they arrive at the land of the sweets with little tiny, that's our littlest reindeer, 5-year-olds pulling the sleigh. And then Clara gets entertained by a bunch of different divertiments from all different countries. Sweets, really, chocolate, tea, coffee, and they dance for her. And then the Sugar Plum and the Cavalier dance for her. And then she travels back. She leaves and says goodbye and travels back home, gets her Nutcracker and goes up to bed. And it ends with Drosselmeyer waving his big magical cape. And you wonder, was it a dream? I don't know.
See,
One
no
of the
spoiler alert, right?
One of the things that people coming for the first time will be amazed at is the talent of the kids. The big majority of all the dancers are from our school.
Yeah,
and
our dancers.
the company, and they are just fantastic. Their energy and skills are very high. People will be amazed when they realize that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up because we tend to think adults in the show, but it is the kids, and you said it ranges all ages, right?
It does. It ranges in all ages. We do have a pre-professional company. It's our highest level, and they do the majority of the roles, and but we sprinkle in the school within the performance. I believe in a really classic way that doesn't take away but only adds to the performance. And they I think being with the Canton Symphony Orchestra, that just ups the level of their training, because dancing to live music is always better, and teaches them to listen and really hear the music and not just get stuck in going through the motions that they've done at this tempo the whole time. But they really have to listen, because what if Matthew was in a bad mood or had a fight before he came and you played extra fast? They need to be you tell them, pay attention to that conductor. He sets it there. So it's really good for them to have this opportunity. And I think it just helps them as they go on into their lives, and whether they dance or not. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you, is how hard it is for the dancers to adjust to the live music, but also, Matthew, for you guys to adjust to playing, with a live production.
Yeah, it's an interesting, different challenge for me as a conductor, because when you're just working with the orchestra, let's say you're playing a symphony from the standard repertoire, there is a range of tempos that you can take it at. I mean, take Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, for instance. Sir Georg Scholti takes the third movement at a tempo that takes 20 minutes, while Sir Roger Norrington takes a tempo that takes 12 and a half minutes. And it's the same exact music, but such a vastly different tempo. And yet both of these recordings are commercially available, and some people like one and some people like the other. That kind of range of tempo variance doesn't exactly work for dance. And one of the things that surprised me last year was just how close to the tempo that the dancers are used to that I have to keep the music. And sometimes I'm like, well, this feels like exactly like what we did at the rehearsal yesterday, but they're saying, that felt a little bit fast today. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just keep pulling it back a little bit. So that was the thing I would say that surprised me the most, is that they have practiced and practiced and practiced. Really, as a company, they've practiced many more hours than the orchestra, at least than the orchestra has as a whole for that particular production. We have one rehearsal alone, and then we'll have 2 rehearsals with the dancers before we do our 4 performances. Now, of course, all of us have worked on the music individually ahead of time. We all come in very, very well prepared. But to actually put it together with the dancers, we only have 2 rehearsals before we go live in front of an audience. And so to really keep all of those tempos as close as possible to what the dancers are used to dancing to, that just helps everything run even more smoothly. And of course, then everybody has an even better time.
And from our point of view, one of the reasons this works so well with the orchestra is because your musicians are very professional, very skilled, and we are confident that we are going to get the musical support that we need. So thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, mutual respect and being able to accomplish it. I liken to what you're saying, Matthew, to, when somebody says, I'm reading a news story too fast, and I feel like I'm reading it like as slow as molasses, and they're like, no, slow down. And then you're just doing it it works and it sounds perfect when you listen back. But I can imagine with the music, it's the same way for you. That has to be hard.
Yeah, at times it can be, and of course, the exhilaration of live performance is another aspect of this. Like, for me, I have to make sure that even though the adrenaline is running high, I started my career in the opera pit, actually. So I did a lot of opera in my early career, and I just have always loved being around the theater and all the trappings of a production, like the set, the costumes, the action, the plot. It all is just, it really makes my heart soar to be involved in something like that. And so all of us, as we are performing, and especially once the live audience gets in the room and we have their energy feeding us as well, really have to keep everything in check and remember, okay, this is what the dancers want to dance to. And it's so exciting. But as you said, sometimes those tempos can feel so slow when in reality, it's exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
And give us the 4 performances, the dates and times. So if folks want to go to cantonballet.com to purchase tickets, they can do that.
Yeah, so Friday night, the 13th, is at 7 p.m. And then Saturday, we have 2 performances, one at 2 and one at 7. And then Sunday is our closing performance at 2 o'clock. I wanted to mention too, we have the orchestra, but we also even have a live singing snow choir that accompanies the snow scene, and that's under the direction of John C. Hayward, who is also in the show and is playing grandfather and has for many years. So just having the live singers and the orchestra and the dancers, it's a pretty cool collaboration.
Yeah, pretty magnificent. All right, we are going to take a break for the news right now, and we will come back. We'll talk more about this wonderful, wonderful production of the Nutcracker, Canton Ballet and the Canton Symphony Orchestra right here on 1480 WHBC.
Looking for a great deal on water softener salt? For a limited time, Verndale Water Experts is running a great special. Get $1 off per bag of their high purity solar salt for water softeners. No limit on quantity, and you can even get it delivered. It's a great salt at a great price. Shop Verndale Water Experts today.
WHBC AM 10, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, a winter storm warning in effect for several counties to the north of us, including Summit and Portage counties. It begins at 4 this afternoon and will go through 4 a.m. Friday morning. There is a possibility for heavy lake effect snow accumulating between 6 and 10 inches, with winds gusting as high as 50 miles an hour. Calling hours for State Senator Kirk Schuring begin at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Kent State Conference Center. He was honored by his colleagues at the State House yesterday. His funeral will take place tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the Old Stone Chapel on West Tusk in Canton. Schuring passed away on November 21st after a long battle with pancreatic cancer and other illnesses. He was 72 years old. 2 brothers have been sentenced in connection with the shooting death of an Akron man back in 2020. 21-year-old Deshaun Coleman and his brother, 24-year-old Eric Fari, both of Akron, charged with shooting Kwan Harris as he came out of a cell phone store. They demanded money from the victim, and he refused, and that's when they shot him. And in sports, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Washington Wizards 118-87 last night. They're now 19-3, and they will play the Nuggets tomorrow. For News Talk 1480 WHB, I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. A lake effect snow warning just off to the north, Interstate 80 all the way up to 90, and that's because we're seeing 3 to 6, even 6 inches plus in the areas along Interstate 90. Locally, 1 to 3 inches, but there still could be some whiteouts and slippery roads. High today, 37, low overnight, 18. You can always check the latest forecast by downloading our free AccuWeather app. This is meteorologist Jeff Nordine for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Browns, Buckeyes, Cavaliers, and high school sports. We know this is a sports town. 1480 WHBC has it all.
Sports. I'm a huge fan. I played in college. That's what I'm tuned into right now, sports.
Your home for the NFL, NBA, MLB, college football, and high school sports. If it's sports you're looking for, this is the right place. News Talk 1480, WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, our Spotlight on this Wednesday, December 5th, is all about the Nutcracker with the Canton Symphony Orchestra, and the Canton Palace Theater will play host to the performance, and looking forward to that. It's coming up next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And again, this morning we have with us Jennifer Catazero Hayward, director of the Canton Ballet, Rachel Hagmeyer, president and CEO of the Canton Symphony Orchestra, Matthew Jenkins Yaroshevitz, the music director for the Canton Symphony Orchestra, and Michael Barrett, the resident character actor with the Canton Ballet, celebrating his 35th anniversary this year. And so you can watch us live on Facebook, and also, of course, folks listening on the radio. I wonder, I guess, Michael, you probably all could answer this question, Matthew and Michael. What's it like to get the reaction from the audience? I mean, when people are responding to what's happening, tell me a little bit about that.
Matthew, you want to take
Sure,
that?
I can take that to start. I've been conducting for almost 16 years now, and I'll tell you, it never gets old to hear the enjoyment of the audience. It's why we do this. Ultimately, if there wasn't an audience, who do we perform for? I mean, I guess we could play music for ourselves for the fun of it, but at the end of the day, the audience is who we are sharing our love of music with, who we're sharing our love of performance with. And their energy is a huge part of what helps us to rise to the highest level that we can give of ourselves. I mean, we learned during COVID, when we couldn't perform in front of live audiences, just how much that meant to all of us. And it was this huge hole in our souls that we couldn't share what we do with an audience. So to hear their approval, to cut off the end of a big number and hear them go wild is just, it's such it's an amazing feeling that just cannot be replicated by technology or anything other than being in the room, which is why I, from the bottom of my heart, and I know all of us feel the same way here, I hope that everybody listening today will come and experience this live in person at the Palace in a week and a half.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Michael? Tell me how it feels up on stage.
Someone who's never been on stage will probably not be able to appreciate the energy and the excitement that you get from performing in front of a live audience. And as Matthew says, it makes us rise to a higher level of wanting to do our best, it gives me more energy when I know that there are people out there. You can palpably feel the energy coming from them and the concentration that they have. And it's a remarkable feeling. I've done theater for many years, and it's always been the case with me. I just love that feeling from the house.
And the dancers, I'll hear them say backstage, this is a great audience. They're interacting with the audience and feeding off that energy that the audience is giving back to them, and they notice it. And it does, like Michael said, and Matthew, it drives you to do better and better. And it's a great feeling. Yeah.
I'd also like to know, Jennifer, maybe you can talk a little bit about the rehearsal for these kids and, what it takes to get this thing together, because it's a lot of work, right?
It is a lot of work. We have a system now. so, and it's been working. And so we generally, casting goes out like the last week of October, right when we finish our fall season program. And we begin, we have 1 week where we cancel classes and just have all rehearsals, and we just set all the things all that week. It's just a week of intensive rehearsals, and everybody that's in the Nutcracker is involved. And then after that, we basically, we have, like Party Scene comes on Sundays, and Mice and Soldiers is on Saturdays, and the pre-professional group, the older dancers, we rehearse every night. I mean, it's something. Last night it was Snow and Flowers, and tonight it's all the divertiments from the Sugar Plum Fairyland. So, we rehearse every night. But the ones that, especially the ones that involve the school or the guest dancers, we try and keep it to a minimum, and just so they don't have to be there every single night. But it is a lot of work, and it goes on for a month and a half getting it ready. So.
Yeah, and that just shows you the commitment of the kids. I mean, normally, sometimes it is hard to get kids to commit to things, one particular thing that's going to be, a little bit of work, but they do it.
They do. It's really, we're like a family. You start when you're little and you come once a week for 45 minutes. And as you get older, you increase the number of times a week that you come. And, if you decide you want to try and be in our pre-professional company, you audition that when you get to be about 11 or 12 or so. And then, those dancers are, not all of them want to be professional dancers, but it's just, it's a great feeling. It's teaching them something that gives them discipline, and they can carry that into other careers, not just dance. But we really like each other, and even the staff, we've been around together a long time, and a lot of times it's alumna that come back that that then now are working with us. And I have Angelo Lemo, who has been with the ballet for many years, and he is a big part of making this magical and setting it. And he's being a rehearsal director this year. And I have Allison Brewer, who's my assistant, who was my student, but now she's my assistant. And so I don't know, it's a nice place to be. We just enjoy it. On that note, I wanted to mention, we are actually, this Nutcracker is extra special because we're dedicating it to Larry Rebolo, who is an alumna and sadly passed away in June. And he had been in our Nutcracker many times. He's most known for the iconic toy soldier part in the Party Scene where he twirled his rifle. And so this year we are dedicating our shows to him, and we actually have a blue coat dancing in his place. And so that's kind of extra special. And we started a memorial fund in his name also, if anyone wants to donate in his name, because his legacy, and he has been with the ballet since the 80s and was a big part. And he loved the Canton Ballet and the Bluecoats, and the Canton Ballet.
And I remember you telling me about him.
Yeah.
Before, and about the rifle.
Yes.
So that. Rachel, maybe you can talk a little bit about, the patrons of the orchestra. Maybe they've never gone to the ballet. Somehow I think they probably have, but, for the most part, so, what do you say to them? You have to see it, and explain to them that whole collaboration thing.
Yeah, it's not the hardest sell in the world. This is, it's something that I think most people can get on board with. I think the thing with ballet that a lot of people maybe don't understand, it's the same thing with orchestra that a lot of people in our modern era have a little trouble with, is the lack of words. Is that something that for people, with a symphony concert, it's just music typically, unless we have a vocalist singing with us. Usually with an orchestra, maybe the vocalist is singing in a different language, right? And ballet is silent, right? So I think that is something that in our modern era, we're not used to, but how wonderful to be in a space where we can just sit and be and absorb beauty and be a part of it, and just allow ourselves to kind of dissolve away for a little bit and put ourselves into a different world, use our imaginations, be a little mindful about all the beauty that's happening in the room where we're at. So it's not a hard sell. And I think a lot of symphony patrons are also ballet patrons and kind of vice versa. But we do find that there are very distinct groups too, that ballet people who've never been to the symphony and symphony people who've never been to the ballet. And so if we can strengthen both of our audiences by collaborating like this, we're very, very grateful for that, just to create this atmosphere. And, you know, one of the easiest ways to get people to go is just tell them about the little 5-year-olds that are in the show and how adorable they are when they come on stage and how dedicated they are, and they get to their spot and they do their dance. And it's the cutest thing you'll ever see in your entire life. And I literally tear up. I was watching the show last year. I teared. I was like, "They're just too cute. I can't with it." And they're so talented too. Like, they're doing an amazing job, and they're only 5. So it's really, really wonderful to see. The Nutcracker also has some of the most beautiful music. You know, Tchaikovsky's score it's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of music. There's several pieces of music for me that when I listen to it, it just like evokes such a deep emotion in me. And there's it's just a scale. It's just a falling scale. Dee, 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 dee. And every time it happens in the show, I'm like, immediately tears. And there's snow happening and there's beautiful dance, and it just makes it all wonderful. So it's not a hard sell, but if people need sold on it, that's what I would say.
You said it perfectly. I think you probably signed up a few people. They're on their computer right now getting their tickets. Matthew, I know that you have to leave us before we finish things up here this morning. If you had one message to give out to the people who are listening today, what would that be?
Just to piggyback off of Rachel, if you aren't yet in the Christmas spirit and are looking for a way to somehow get there, come and see the Nutcracker. It's just impossible to not leave the Nutcracker feeling filled with the spirit of the season. A giant Christmas tree that takes up the entire height of the palace, the snow swirling around, and of course this timeless music that it's possibly the most recognized, at least one of the top 5 most recognized pieces of classical music. And if you're looking for a way to get into the spirit of the season, there truly is no better way in Canton than coming to see the Nutcracker with the Canton Ballet and the Canton Symphony Orchestra at the Palace.
All right. Well, we're going to take our final break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about exactly what you'll be expecting when you walk in and take your seat. And I love the fact that there's no words. That's just even though my career is words, but that is a wonderful thing. And so we'll finish up here in just a few minutes. It is a Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Canton Ballet's The Nutcracker returns to the Canton Palace Theater December 13th through the 15th, joined by the Canton Symphony Orchestra performing the iconic score live. A beloved holiday favorite for over 50 years, The Nutcracker is the perfect addition to your seasonal celebration. Whether it's your first time experiencing the magic or a cherished family tradition, this enchanting ballet is sure to captivate audiences of all ages. Get your tickets now at cantonballet.com.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Not sorta smart, SARTA Smart. Did you know we have 32 fixed routes? Just think of all the places that'll take you. So many of your SARTA destinations to shop, eat, entertain, have fun, learn, and earn. Catch any of them at our 4 transit centers. You'll find them in Alliance, Belden Village, Canton, and Massillon. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
At Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital, world-class care is close to you, with multiple locations ready to provide the care you need in your community. From heart and cancer care to minimally invasive and robotic-assisted surgery, Cleveland Clinic is investing in your community with innovative technology and a growing network of specialists to meet your unique healthcare needs. For every patient, for every care in the world. To learn more, visit cantonmercy.org.
Hello, it's Craig Sanders from Progressive Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Massillon. Listen to this Progressive Power Buy.
Don't miss these crazy deals. While they last, buy the all-new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 and take $14,000 off MSRP. Yes, that's 14 grand off the redesigned 2025 Ram 1500. Or buy a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4 and take $12,000 off MSRP. These progressive power buys might sound crazy, but they are for real. Take another listen. Buy a new Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 and take $14,000 off MSRP. Or buy a new Jeep Grand Cherokee 4x4 and take $12,000 off during the Black Friday sales event.
Shop Progressive, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Massillon.
Call 833-853-2976 for details. Stock number D25012 and D24726. MSRP 67,860 and 57,510. Offer ends upon sale of eligible vehicles.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
All right, we have just a few minutes to finish up and get information out for those of you who are so interested in getting your tickets. And again, Matthew had to leave, but we have with us still Jennifer and Rachel and Michael. And, one last thought about people coming to see the performance. how long does it last? It's like 2 hours. Is that right?
About 2 hours.
2
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. People I love what you were saying about the no words again. I mean, that really struck me because, in this day and age when our mind is filled with a million things all the time, and you can walk into the Palace Theater next weekend and just relax for 2 hours and, use your imagination. It's probably pretty rusty, I might imagine, for some folks, but it would just be so fun. And I think that's a great way to think about it. So again, tell us when the performances are and how folks can get the tickets.
So the performances are December 13th, Friday night at 7 p.m. and then Saturday the 14th at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So we have a matinee and an evening performance that day. And then Sunday the 15th is our closing performance. It's a matinee at 2 o'clock. And you can get tickets at cantonballet.com. Go to cantonballet.com. Be sure it's cantonballet.com and click on performances and then the Nutcracker. And then you'll be able to have a seating chart and pick your seats. And so, yes.
That's awesome. And it's at the Palace. And can you get the tickets on the Palace Theater's website?
No,
just yours.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's an important thing to remember, because if people go to that website, then that's where it may end up being something it shouldn't be, or they're selling them for way more expensive than they are.
And you can get tickets at the door if there are any left. It just depends, as Rachel mentioned, that they are going fast. So, you're going to want to get them if you want to come.
Yeah. Michael, give me one more shout out to the people listening. Why should they come and see you with all of your magic?
Well, it's not just me. It's
right.
like, I keep going back to the children. They are so dedicated and energetic. And, you talk about no words, but you don't need words, because the dancers and the musicians, they support everything with such emotion that you leave feeling good.
Yeah. And this is your 35th anniversary. So you've seen children do this for a very long time, not just this year or, the past couple of years, right?
Yeah. 35 years. Yes.
Yeah. That's a wonderful thing to think about when we talk about the kids. I say there are many times when kids don't commit to something as like this, but here they are, and they're doing a wonderful job of it.
Can I say quickly that, years ago, I took dance classes at the ballet, and it was some of the hardest physical endurance that I had to do. I was racing bicycles at the time, and ballet was much, much harder. This was at an introductory level. So my admiration goes out to those kids.
And if you think you're coordinated, you try something like that, you're not. All right. Well,
you should still do it. Just try.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on today. This is wonderful information for everyone. And I will tell the listeners, get there and get your tickets now, because they will not last long. They certainly will not last long. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Pam.
Canton Ballet's The Nutcracker returns to the Canton Palace Theater